Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Muhammad and in this video I'm going to show you my review of the case that I chose. Okay, as we enter the first introduction in this case, there are 4 key factors will be highlighted, which are the facts of the case, the issue presented by the case, the judgment or the holding, and lastly my analysis of the case. First thing first, the fact of this case is that the plaintiff are seeking compensation from the defendant for publishing defamatory statements on Twitter which allegedly referred to them. The plaintiff have identified 5 statements made by the defendant that they claim had defamatory tendency. It started when one local entertainment M-Star published an article about the first plaintiff buying an expensive stroller after forgetting to bring one from home. This article went viral and the plaintiff received negative comments and backlash. Two Twitter users made negative comment as well, but later posted apology.
Saya, Raja Muhammad Zahid bin Raja Mahfuzi, dengan ini memberikan permohonan maaf secara terbuka dan rela hati kepada 2 individu yang dikenali oleh umum sebagai Geoff Liam dan Cik Apple atas kenyataan yang saya lakukan tempoh hari di Twitter.
Plaintiff and fair comments regarding the controversy surrounding the plaintiff. Next, we move on to the issue. 2 main issues have been identified based on the evidence presented in the holding, which are whether the pune posting referred to the plaintiff and whether the pune posting bear defamatory imputation. These 2 issues later will be discussed in the judgment. Besides that, on behalf of the judgment, the judge laid out the circumstances that led to the publication of the defamatory posting. The defendant had used the defamatory statement "Laki bini gila end of story," which resulted in an argument about whether the praise referred to the plaintiff. The judge considered the time of the posting and found that the same statement had been used by the defendant back in 2014. The judge determined that the defendant intended to refer to the plaintiff with the praise and any reasonable person would understand it as such, making it defamatory. On the other hand, the judge determined that the word gila used in the defamatory posting meant crazy, insane or lunatic, and any reasonable person would also understand it as such. The judge found that all 3 defamatory statements were capable of being defamatory as the word gila used in each statement meant insane and crazy. In summary, the judge found that the defendant's posting were defamatory and unjustifiable attacks on the plaintiff. Next, the defendant had no valid defense for their publication and the plaintiff claim was upheld. The defendant was ordered to pay 15,000 ringgit to each plaintiff and issue a clear public apology on social media platform designated by the plaintiff. An injunction was also issued to prevent the defendant from further publishing defamatory statements about the plaintiffs on the social media. Last but not least, regarding my opinion in this case, I have thoroughly analyzed the judge's finding and conclude that the defendant intended to refer to the plaintiff with the defamatory statement gila. Furthermore, I believe that the defamatory posting were nonsense attack on the plaintiff and the defendant should have exercised more caution in expressing her opinions or views online. The court ordered the defendant to pay a total of 15,000 to each of the plaintiff, issue a clear and unambiguous public apology approved by the plaintiff, and post the apology on the defendant's Twitter account and other social media platform. After reading this case, I believe that the plaintiff were justified in protecting their reputation, especially giving their reputation on social media. The use of such a rude and uncivilized term by the defendant, the word by defendant is unacceptable and it can harm the plaintiff's job and reputation. Finally, I understand that the presenting various testimonial during the hearing is essential, but the judge's wisdom and good judgment are crucial in comprehending the case and making the right decision. That is all from me. Thank you and goodbye.